Life as we experience it is a tapestry woven from threads of contrasting experiences. From the moment we are born, we are thrust into a world of opposites, light and shadow dancing in eternal embrace. In our Western traditions, we often view these dualities as conflicting forces, struggling for dominance. However, the wisdom of Eastern philosophies invites us to see them not as adversaries, but as complementary aspects of a unified whole. Consider the beauty of a sunrise, a symphony of light breaking through the darkness of night. In its brilliance, we find hope and renewal, yet it is only through the contrast of night that the radiance of dawn becomes meaningful. Similarly, in the depths of sorrow, we discover the capacity for profound empathy and compassion. The dance of light and shadow is not a battle to be won or lost, but a symphony to be embraced in its entirety. Emotions, like colors on an artist's palette, paint the canvas of our lives with vibrancy and depth. Joy and sorrow, happiness and grief, these emotions form the spectrum through which we experience the richness of human existence. In our pursuit of happiness, we often seek to avoid or suppress feelings of sadness or despair. However, the wisdom of the ages teaches us that true emotional maturity lies in embracing the full spectrum of our feelings. Imagine a world where every moment is saturated with unbridled joy, a perpetual state of euphoria devoid of sorrow or pain. While this may seem idyllic, it is in the contrast of emotions that we find true meaning and depth. Just as a piece of music gains its poignancy from the interplay of notes and silences, so too does life derive its beauty from the dance between joy and sorrow. Birth and death, the alpha and omega of our earthly existence. From the moment of our conception, we embark on a journey that culminates in the inevitable passage into the great unknown. In Western societies, death is often viewed with fear and apprehension, expected to be avoided or denied at all costs. Yet, in the teachings of ancient wisdom traditions, death is seen not as an end, but as a natural transition, a gateway to new beginnings. Consider the life cycle of a majestic oak tree. From its humble beginnings as a tiny acorn, it grows and flourishes, reaching towards the heavens with outstretched branches. And yet, with the passage of time, its leaves wither and fall, returning to the earth from whence they came. In its decay, the tree nourishes the soil, providing sustenance for new life to take root. So too is the cycle of birth and death woven into the fabric of our existence, a continuous flow of endings and new beginnings. Pleasure and pain, two sides of the same coin, inseparable and interdependent. In our quest for pleasure, we often seek to maximize our experiences of joy and minimize our encounters with discomfort or suffering. Yet the wisdom of ancient philosophies invites us to embrace both pleasure and pain as integral aspects of the human experience. Imagine a life devoid of pain, a perpetual state of bliss, where every moment is filled with unending pleasure. While this may seem desirable, it is in the crucible of adversity that we discover our true strength and resilience. Just as a sculptor molds clay into a work of art through the application of pressure and heat, so too do our experiences of pain shape and refine our character. As we journey deeper into the dance of opposites, we begin to glimpse a profound truth. Beyond the dualities of life lies a deeper unity that transcends our limited perceptions. In the teachings of Eastern philosophies, this unity is often symbolized by the concept of Tao, the underlying harmony that permeates all of existence. Consider the movement of the ocean waves rising and falling in rhythmic cadence, yet ultimately merging into the vast expanse of the sea. Each wave is unique in its form and trajectory, yet all are interconnected and inseparable from the greater whole. So too are we, dear friends, individual expressions of a unified consciousness that encompasses the entirety of creation. In our Western societies, we often perceive ourselves as separate and distinct individuals, defined by our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This sense of separateness gives rise to the ego, the illusion of a self-contained entity that exists independently from the world around us. Yet, in the teachings of Eastern philosophies, we are invited to transcend this illusion of separation and recognize the interconnectedness of all life. Just as a single drop of water merges seamlessly into the river, so too do our individual identities dissolve into the greater tapestry of existence. In this realization, we discover a profound sense of unity and belonging that transcends the limitations of egoic perception. At the heart of the dance of opposites lies the eternal present moment, a timeless and ever-present reality that transcends past regrets and future anxieties. In our modern world, we often find ourselves caught in the relentless pursuit of success, achievement, and material wealth. Yet, in our relentless striving, we risk losing sight of the beauty and simplicity of the present moment. Imagine for a moment a world where every breath is savored, every sensation is felt fully, and every experience is embraced with gratitude and humility. This, dear friends, is the essence of mindfulness, the practice of awakening to the present moment with clarity and awareness. In the teachings of ancient wisdom traditions, mindfulness is not merely a technique or practice, but a way of being a profound recognition of the interconnectedness of all life. In our pursuit of success and achievement, we often cling tightly to our desires, expectations, and ambitions. Yet, in the teachings of Eastern philosophies, we are invited to embrace the wisdom of surrender, the art of letting go and flowing with the natural rhythms of life. Consider the image of a leaf floating downstream on a gentle river current. The leaf does not resist or struggle against the flow of the water, but simply allows itself to be carried effortlessly along its journey. So too can we, dear friends, learn to surrender to the flow of life, releasing our attachments and embracing the inherent uncertainty and unpredictability of existence. At the heart of the dance of opposites lies the timeless wisdom of Tao, the way of nature that permeates all of existence. In the teachings of Taoism, we are invited to align ourselves with the natural rhythms of life, embracing the ebb and flow of creation with humility and grace. Consider the image of a tree swaying gently in the breeze, rooted firmly in the earth, yet flexible and resilient in its response to the changing seasons. So too can we, dear friends, learn to cultivate a sense of inner harmony and balance, aligning ourselves with the cyclical rhythms of nature and embracing the inherent interconnectedness of all life. As we conclude our journey into the dance of opposites, let us pause and reflect on the profound wisdom that has been revealed to us. Life, dear friends, is a cosmic ballad of light and shadow, joy and sorrow, birth and death. In our pursuit of meaning and purpose, may we learn to embrace the full spectrum of human experience with courage and compassion. Prepare to be amazed, dear friends, for the mysteries of existence are vast and boundless. In our exploration of the dance of opposites, may we awaken to the beauty and simplicity of life's eternal rhythms. Let us celebrate the unity that transcends all dualities and embrace the interconnectedness of all life with humility and grace. Life and death, like yin and yang, are inseparable partners in the cosmic dance of existence. In many cultures, especially in the West, there exists a deep-seated aversion to acknowledging death. It is often viewed as an ending, a void to be feared and avoided at all costs. But what if, instead of shrinking away from it, we approach death with reverence and understanding? Alan Watts, a philosopher who delved deeply into Eastern and Western philosophies, often spoke about the interconnectedness of life and death. He suggested that our fear of death stems from a misunderstanding of its nature. In his teachings, Watts invites us to see death not as an end, but as a natural part of the cycle of life, a transition that is as sacred and meaningful as birth itself. In Western societies, death is often shrouded in taboo and denial. We are conditioned from a young age to view death as something to be feared and avoided at all costs. Hospitals and hospices become places of quiet discomfort, where we tiptoe around the inevitable reality facing every human being. Watts criticizes this cultural attitude, arguing that our avoidance of death robs us of the opportunity to live fully. He suggests that by denying death, we deny a fundamental aspect of our humanity, our mortality. In doing so, we live in a state of perpetual anxiety, always trying to control and manipulate our lives to avoid confronting the inevitable. One of the core teachings of Alan Watts is the illusion of immortality that pervades modern Western societies. We live as though death does not exist, clinging to ideas of eternal youth, medical advancements, and the pursuit of longevity. Yet, Watts challenges us to consider the futility of these pursuits, for no matter how much we resist, death remains an inescapable part of life. In his lectures and writings, Watts often drew parallels between the fear of death and the fear of life itself. He argued that by embracing our mortality, we gain a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment. This acceptance allows us to live authentically, free from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. What if, instead of mourning death, we celebrate it as a natural and inevitable part of life? This radical shift in perspective is at the heart of Alan Watts' teachings on death. He suggests that by embracing death, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of existence and our place within the universe. Watts often used philosophical and metaphorical language to convey this idea. He spoke of death as a grand adventure, a journey into the unknown that holds the potential for profound transformation. By celebrating death, we acknowledge its role in the cycle of life and recognize that it is through endings that new beginnings emerge. In contrast to Western attitudes towards death, many Eastern philosophies, such as Buddhism and Taoism, offer a more nuanced perspective. These traditions view death not as an end, but as a transition, a liberation of the soul from the constraints of the physical body. Alan Watts was deeply influenced by these Eastern teachings and often integrated their insights into his own philosophical explorations. He spoke of death as a return to the cosmic dance of existence, where the individual soul merges with the universal consciousness. In this way, death is seen as a natural and harmonious part of the larger cosmic order. Throughout human history, cultures around the world have developed rituals and ceremonies to honor the dead. These rites of passage serve not only to commemorate the life of the departed, but also to provide comfort and closure to the living. Alan Watts believed that such rituals play a crucial role in helping individuals confront and embrace the reality of death. In his lectures, Watts often discussed the transformative power of ritual and ceremony. He suggested that by participating in these practices, we acknowledge the interconnectedness of life and death and reaffirm our place within the larger tapestry of existence. Whether through funeral rites, memorial services, or personal rituals of remembrance, these ceremonies provide a space for healing, reflection, and spiritual growth. Central to Alan Watts' philosophy is the concept of the myth of the self, the illusion that we are separate, isolated individuals distinct from the rest of the universe. He argued that our fear of death stems from this mistaken belief in a fixed and permanent self. In reality, Watts suggested our sense of self is fluid and ever-changing, much like the flowing currents of a river. By understanding the myth of the self, we can begin to dissolve the fear of death and embrace the interconnected nature of existence. Watts used analogies from nature and Eastern philosophy to illustrate this concept, comparing the individual ego to a wave on the surface of the ocean, distinct, yet inseparable from the vastness of the sea. In his teachings on death, Alan Watts emphasized the importance of living fully in the present moment. He suggested that by embracing the impermanence of life, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for each breath, each experience, and each interaction. Watts often spoke about the concept of nowness, the practice of being fully present in the here and now. He encouraged his listeners to let go of regrets about the past and anxieties about the future, and instead to immerse themselves fully in the richness of the present moment. By doing so, Watts believed we can transcend the fear of death and find peace in the unfolding tapestry of life. In his more metaphysical explorations, Alan Watts invited his audience to consider death from a cosmic perspective. He suggested that death is not an end, but a gateway to mystery, a portal through which the soul embarks on a new and unknown adventure. Drawing on insights from Eastern mysticism and quantum physics, Watts explored the idea of consciousness as a fundamental aspect of the universe. He proposed that death may involve a transformation of consciousness, where the individual soul merges with the universal consciousness from which it arose. At the heart of Alan Watts' teachings on death lies a profound paradox that by embracing the unknown, we can find liberation from fear. He suggested that our fear of death often stems from a resistance to the uncertainty and unpredictability of life. Yet, Watts argued, it is precisely in confronting this uncertainty that we discover our true strength and resilience. In his lectures and writings, Watts used paradoxical language and thought experiments to challenge his listeners' preconceived notions about death. He encouraged them to embrace the mystery of existence and to see death not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and transformation. In addition to philosophical discourse, Alan Watts offered practical approaches to help individuals embrace death more fully. He often spoke about the benefits of meditation, mindfulness, and contemplative practices in cultivating a deeper understanding of mortality. Meditation, according to Watts, provides a space for introspection and self-inquiry. By quieting the mind and observing the flow of thoughts and emotions, we can gain insights into the nature of impermanence and the interconnectedness of life and death. Watts encouraged his listeners to explore these practices as a means of preparing for the inevitable transition that awaits us all. Ultimately, Alan Watts' teachings on death invite us to live with intention and purpose. He suggested that by embracing our mortality, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of life and the interconnectedness of all beings. Watts often used poetic language and metaphorical imagery to convey these ideas, encouraging his listeners to live authentically and passionately. He believed that by embracing death as a natural part of the cycle of life, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude and reverence for the gift of existence. In our modern world, the topic of death often evokes discomfort, fear, and avoidance. It is viewed as an endpoint, a finality to be pushed aside in favor of pursuits that promise longevity, security, and pleasure. Yet, what if we were to shift our perspective? What if we were to see death not as an end, but as a natural part of life's grand journey, a transition worthy of celebration and contemplation? Imagine for a moment a different approach to death. Instead of denial and fear, we embrace it as an integral part of our existence. Alan Watts, in his profound teachings, invites us to consider death not as something to be defeated or conquered, but as a companion on our journey through life. He suggests that by acknowledging the impermanence of our physical form, we can fully appreciate the beauty and richness of each passing moment. Watts often spoke of death as a natural and necessary counterpart to life. He viewed it not as a morbid event to be dreaded, but as a transformative experience that can enrich our understanding of existence itself. In embracing the reality of death, we open ourselves to a deeper awareness of the interconnectedness of all of the fundamental principles in Eastern philosophies, such as Taoism and Zen Buddhism. In our efforts to prolong life and ensure security, we often fall into the trap of believing that we have control over our fate. We invest in health regimens, purchase insurance policies, and meticulously plan for the future, all in an attempt to mitigate the uncertainty of life. However, as Watts would argue, this illusion of control only serves to distance us from the true essence of living. Watts frequently emphasized the futility of resisting the natural flow of life. He believed that our fixation on security and permanence blinds us to the inherent beauty of existence, its fleeting moments of joy, sorrow, and everything in between. By accepting the inevitability of death, we can release ourselves from the grip of fear and anxiety, and instead embrace each moment with gratitude and presence. Life, according to Watts, is a continuous dance between birth and death, creation and dissolution. He often used the metaphor of waves in the ocean, each wave rising and falling in an eternal rhythm. Similarly, each life emerges from the vast ocean of existence, cresting into being before eventually returning to the source from which it came. In this dance, Watts saw an opportunity for profound spiritual growth and self-discovery. By recognizing our place within the larger tapestry of life, we can find solace in the knowledge that our individuality is but a temporary expression of a deeper universal consciousness. Death then becomes not an end, but a transition, a return to the cosmic dance from which we originated. Central to Watts' teachings is the concept of letting go, releasing our attachments to ego, identity, and the material world. He believed that our fear of death stems from our deep-seated attachment to the illusion of permanence. By clinging to our possessions, relationships, and achievements, we create barriers that prevent us from fully experiencing the true essence of life. Watts often spoke of the liberating power of acceptance, of surrendering to the ebb and flow of existence without resistance. In embracing death as a natural part of life's unfolding drama, we can transcend our fear and embrace the present moment with a newfound sense of freedom and clarity. This, he argued, is the path to true enlightenment and inner peace. In many cultures throughout history, death has been honored and commemorated through rituals and ceremonies. From ancient funeral rites to modern-day celebrations of life, these practices serve as a means of acknowledging the transition from one state of being to another. Watts viewed these rituals not as somber occasions, but as opportunities for communal reflection and spiritual renewal. He believed that by participating in rituals that honor death, we affirm our connection to the larger web of life. Whether through prayer, meditation, or symbolic gestures, these ceremonies allow us to express our gratitude for the life that was lived and to find solace in the knowledge that the journey continues beyond the physical realm. At the heart of Watts' philosophy is the wisdom of impermanence, the understanding that all things, including life itself, are transient and ever-changing. He often cited the example of nature, where seasons come and go, and cycles of birth and death are woven into the fabric of existence. By aligning ourselves with this natural rhythm, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment. Watts encouraged his students to embrace the impermanent nature of life as a source of liberation and empowerment. He believed that by letting go of our attachment to fixed outcomes and embracing the unknown, we can discover a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. This acceptance, he argued, is not resignation, but a courageous affirmation of life's inherent beauty and mystery. In our culture, the prospect of death often evokes feelings of fear, sadness, and uncertainty. We may avoid discussing it altogether, preferring to focus on more immediate concerns. However, Watts challenged us to confront our mortality with courage and grace, to see death not as an adversary, but as a companion on life's journey. He believed that by facing death with an open heart and a clear mind, we can transcend our fear and discover a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Whether through meditation, contemplation, or heartfelt conversation, Watts encouraged his students to explore their beliefs and attitudes toward death openly and honestly. Central to Watts' teachings is the concept of the eternal, now the idea that life unfolds in the present moment, free from the constraints of past regrets or future anxieties. He often spoke of the illusion of time, noting that our fixation on past events or future aspirations distracts us from fully experiencing the richness of the present. By embracing the eternal now, we can cultivate a deeper sense of mindfulness and awareness. Watts encouraged his students to practice living fully in each moment, savoring the beauty of existence without reservation. In doing so, he believed that we can transcend the limitations of the ego and connect more deeply with the timeless essence of life itself. In the vast tapestry of Eastern philosophy, there exists a profound principle that beckons us to reevaluate our approach to life and existence. This principle is Wu Wei, often translated as non-doing or effortless action. Originating from the ancient Chinese wisdom of Taoism, Wu Wei offers a unique perspective on how to navigate the complexities of existence with grace and wisdom. Imagine a river flowing gently through a verdant valley, winding its way around rocks and trees without resistance. The water does not struggle or strain, it simply follows the natural contours of the land, effortlessly finding its way to the sea. This, my friends, is the essence of Wu Wei, the art of non-interference. In our modern Western-centric world, the idea of non-action may seem counterintuitive. We are conditioned to believe that success and progress require relentless effort, strategic planning, and constant striving. Yet Taoist philosophy challenges this paradigm by suggesting that true harmony and effectiveness arise not from forceful exertion, but from aligning oneself with the natural flow of life. To understand Wu Wei fully, we must delve into the foundational teachings of Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophy attributed to the sage Laozi. Taoism emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, often translated as the way or the path. The Tao is not a fixed doctrine or dogma, but rather the underlying principle that governs the natural order of the universe. Central to Taoist thought is the recognition of the interplay between yin and yang complementary forces that represent the dualities inherent in all aspects of existence. Yin symbolizes receptivity, darkness, and the feminine principle, while yang represents activity, light, and the masculine principle. Together, they form a dynamic equilibrium that sustains the cosmic balance. Wu Wei emerges from this understanding as a guiding principle for living in accordance with the Tao. It invites us to abandon rigid notions of control and instead embrace a more intuitive, spontaneous approach to life. By relinquishing our attachment to outcomes and surrendering to the unfolding of events, we open ourselves to a deeper wisdom that transcends our limited perceptions. At its core, Wu Wei advocates for a state of Wu Wei action without action. This paradoxical concept suggests that true effectiveness arises not from forced effort, but from allowing things to unfold naturally. It is akin to the skillful sailor who sets their sails to catch the wind, or the martial artist who uses their opponent's momentum to achieve victory. In practical terms, Wu Wei encourages us to cultivate a mindset of non-resistance and spontaneity. Rather than imposing our will upon the world, we learn to listen deeply to the subtle rhythms of life and respond with effortless ease. This does not imply passivity or laziness, but rather a heightened awareness and sensitivity to the ebb and flow of circumstances. To live in harmony with the Tao is to embody the virtues of simplicity, humility, and compassion. It is to recognize that all things are interconnected and interdependent, and that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate perception. By aligning ourselves with the natural order, we become co-creators of reality rather than mere actors struggling against it. The Tao Te Ching, attributed to Laozi, serves as a foundational text for understanding the principles of Wu Wei. In its poetic verses, the Tao Te Ching offers timeless wisdom on topics ranging from leadership and governance to personal cultivation and spiritual growth. Central to its teachings is the notion of Wei Wu Wei, which Laozi describes as the way of heaven. While the concept of Wu Wei may seem abstract or esoteric, its principles have practical applications in everyday life. Consider, for example, the art of parenting. Instead of micromanaging every aspect of a child's development, a parent practicing Wu Wei would create a nurturing environment and trust in the child's innate capacity to learn and grow. Similarly, in the realm of business and leadership, Wu Wei offers insights into effective decision-making and strategic planning. Rather than forcing outcomes through aggressive tactics or rigid adherence to plans, a wise leader cultivates an environment where creativity and innovation can flourish organically. On a personal level, Wu Wei invites us to cultivate self-awareness and inner harmony. By letting go of ego-driven desires and surrendering to the flow of life, we can experience a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. This does not mean abandoning goals or ambitions, but rather aligning them with our deepest values and aspirations. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, Tai Chi, and Qigong, are powerful tools for cultivating Wu Wei in daily life. These practices help us develop greater clarity of mind, emotional resilience, and a heightened sensitivity to the subtle energies that shape our experiences. Nature itself serves as a profound teacher of Wu Wei. Observe the effortless growth of a flower or the graceful flight of a bird. These natural phenomena embody the principles of spontaneity and non-resistance. By attuning ourselves to the rhythms of the natural world, we can learn valuable lessons about patience, resilience, and adaptability. In the words of Laozi, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. This timeless wisdom reminds us that true mastery lies not in frantic activity, but in quietude and receptivity. By aligning ourselves with the Tao, we can cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. The principles of Wu Wei also have profound implications for interpersonal relationships. By practicing non-interference and allowing others the space to express themselves freely, we foster mutual respect and trust. This approach encourages genuine communication and collaboration, rather than coercion or manipulation. In romantic relationships, Wu Wei encourages partners to embrace each other's differences and appreciate the unique qualities that each person brings to the relationship. By letting go of the need to control or change the other person, we create a harmonious and loving partnership based on mutual acceptance and support. Life inevitably presents us with challenges and obstacles that can test our resilience and strength. In these moments, Wu Wei offers a powerful antidote to fear and anxiety. By approaching difficulties with a calm and centered mind, we can navigate turbulent waters with grace and confidence. Instead of reacting impulsively or succumbing to despair, we can cultivate a mindset of equanimity and resourcefulness. This does not mean denying or suppressing emotions, but rather embracing them fully and responding with wisdom and clarity. Creativity flourishes in an atmosphere of openness and receptivity. By practicing Wu Wei, artists, writers, and musicians can tap into a deep wellspring of inspiration and innovation. Rather than forcing creativity through sheer willpower, they allow ideas to flow naturally and spontaneously. The creative process itself embodies the principles of Wu Wei, a dance of intuition, experimentation, and refinement. By trusting in the creative impulse and letting go of perfectionism, artists can create work that resonates deeply with both themselves and their audience. Effective leadership is not about exerting power or control, but about inspiring and empowering others. Leaders who embody the principles of Wu Wei cultivate a culture of trust, collaboration, and mutual respect. Instead of imposing their will upon others, they create space for creativity and initiative to flourish. By leading with authenticity and humility, they foster a sense of shared purpose and collective achievement. This approach encourages team members to contribute their unique talents and perspectives, resulting in innovative solutions and sustainable growth. In the realm of health and healing, Wu Wei offers insights into the body's innate capacity for self-repair and regeneration. Traditional Chinese medicine, rooted in Taoist principles, emphasizes the importance of restoring balance and harmony to the body-mind-spirit complex. By supporting the body's natural healing processes through diet, exercise, and holistic therapies, practitioners of Wu Wei promote wellness and vitality. This approach recognizes that health is not merely the absence of disease, but a state of vibrant well-being and resilience. In an era of environmental crisis and social upheaval, Wu Wei invites us to reconsider our relationship with the natural world. By honoring the interconnectedness of all life forms and respecting the delicate balance of ecosystems, we can cultivate a sustainable and harmonious future for generations to come. This perspective calls for mindful stewardship of Earth's resources and a commitment to ethical and ecological practices. By embracing simplicity, conservation, and respect for biodiversity, we can mitigate the impact of human activities on the planet and promote a more balanced and resilient global community. Life, friends, is a tapestry woven from the threads of constant change. It is a river that flows ceaselessly, never the same from one moment to the next. To resist this flow is to struggle against the very essence of existence itself. Instead, we must learn to dance with the rhythm of life, embracing its ebbs and flows with grace and acceptance. In the Western world, we often strive for stability and permanence. We build our lives around notions of security, seeking to control and predict every outcome. Yet, life has a way of defying our plans, reminding us that change is the only constant. This resistance to impermanence creates suffering and dissatisfaction as we cling desperately to illusions of control. Change, however, is not to be feared but embraced. It is the very heartbeat of existence, the pulse that drives the universe forward. From the shifting seasons to the cycles of birth and death, nature itself teaches us the beauty of impermanence. Each moment flows into the next, creating a symphony of life that unfolds in perfect harmony. In the wisdom of Eastern philosophy, particularly in Taoism and Zen Buddhism, we find profound insights into the nature of change. Central to these teachings is the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. Wu Wei is not about passivity, but about aligning oneself with the natural flow of life, allowing actions to arise spontaneously and effortlessly. Imagine the skill of sailing, where a sailor does not fight against the wind, but uses its force to propel their vessel forward. Similarly, in the art of judo, a practitioner does not resist an opponent's strength head-on, but redirects it to achieve their goal. Wu Wei teaches us to discern the currents of life and move with them, rather than against them. Our modern world tempts us with promises of control and certainty. We invest in financial securities, purchase insurance policies, and plan meticulously for the future. Yet, despite our best efforts, life remains unpredictable and ever-changing. The illusion of control creates anxiety and stress as we grapple with circumstances beyond our influence. To find harmony and change, we must practice surrender not in defeat but in acceptance. It is a recognition that life unfolds according to its own rhythms, and our role is to flow with these currents. This surrender requires a shift in perspective from resistance to openness, from fear to trust. Consider the wisdom of the ancient Taoist sages who observed the natural world with reverence and humility. They understood that resistance to change only leads to suffering, while acceptance brings inner peace. Like a tree bending with the wind or a river carving its path through the landscape, they taught us the beauty of yielding to life's unfolding. Everything in life, from our relationships to our careers, from our youth to our aging, is subject to change. Embracing this transience allows us to cherish each moment fully, knowing that nothing lasts forever. It is in impermanence that we find the richness of experience, the depth of emotion, and the beauty of fleeting moments. Attachment, the root of suffering in Buddha's teachings, is deeply intertwined with our resistance to change. We become attached to people, possessions, and identities, believing them to be sources of security and happiness. Yet, attachments bind us to expectations and prevent us from embracing life's fluidity. Mindfulness, rooted in Buddhist traditions, offers a path to cultivating acceptance and presence. It invites us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing us to see clearly the nature of impermanence. Through mindfulness meditation and daily practices, we develop resilience and compassion towards ourselves and others. Fear of the unknown often accompanies periods of change. Whether it is a career transition, a relationship ending, or a health challenge, uncertainty can evoke anxiety and doubt. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that we have an opportunity to grow and evolve. Vulnerability, often perceived as weakness in our culture, is in fact a source of strength. It is the willingness to embrace uncertainty and face life's challenges with openness and resilience. By acknowledging our vulnerabilities, we cultivate empathy and deepen our connections with others. Life presents us with crossroads moments when we must choose between familiarity and growth, security and adventure. These decisions shape our journey and define our character. Navigating these crossroads requires courage and discernment, as we listen to the whispers of our intuition and trust in the unfolding of our path. Resilience, the ability to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity, is a skill honed through embracing change. It is not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them with courage and determination. Resilience allows us to bounce back from setbacks, learn from experiences, and continue moving forward with clarity and purpose. Flow, a concept explored by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, refers to a state of effortless immersion in an activity. It is a state where time seems to stand still and our actions become effortless and intuitive. Achieving flow requires letting go of distractions and embracing the present moment fully. Creativity, whether expressed through art, music, or innovation, thrives in an environment of openness and receptivity. It is a process of surrendering to inspiration and allowing ideas to flow freely. Like a river carving its path through the landscape, creativity emerges from a place of deep connection to the creative source. Nature, our greatest teacher, exemplifies the principles of harmony and balance. From the intricate patterns of a snowflake to the vastness of the cosmos, nature reveals the interconnectedness of all life. Living in alignment with nature means honoring its rhythms, conserving its resources, and cultivating a deep respect for its wisdom. Throughout history, wise sages and teachers have imparted timeless truths about the nature of change and impermanence. Their teachings transcend cultural boundaries and resonate with universal truths. From Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching to the teachings of Zen masters, these insights offer guidance and inspiration for navigating life's uncertainties. Ultimately, finding harmony and change is a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires integrating wisdom into our daily lives, cultivating mindfulness, resilience, and compassion. By embracing impermanence and surrendering to the flow of life, we unlock the door to inner peace and fulfillment. In the heart of every farmer lies a deep understanding of the rhythms and cycles of nature. For centuries, farmers have worked the land, not just as a means of livelihood, but as a profound engagement with the forces that shape existence itself. In their daily toil and in the observations of nature's ebbs and flows, they have uncovered timeless truths that resonate with the essence of life. Imagine a farmer, weathered by years of working the fields, whose life is intimately intertwined with the land. His days begin with the rising sun, and his work is dictated by the seasons, sowing seeds in spring, tending crops through summer's heat, harvesting in the bountiful days of autumn, and preparing for the quiet dormancy of winter. Each phase of the agricultural cycle brings its own challenges and rewards. Yet through it all, the farmer maintains a steadfast connection to the natural world. There is a timeless story told in various forms across cultures, illustrating the farmer's wisdom in the face of life's uncertainties. It goes something like this. One day, a farmer's only horse runs away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors express their sympathy, saying, "What bad luck. Your only horse is gone. How will you manage without it?" The farmer simply replies, "Maybe so." A few days later, to everyone's surprise, the horse returns, bringing with it a herd of wild horses. Now the farmer has not one, but many horses. The neighbors rejoice, exclaiming, "How fortunate. Your luck has turned. Now you are rich with horses." Again, the farmer calmly responds, "Maybe so." Soon after, the farmer's son attempts to tame one of the wild horses, but is thrown off and breaks his leg. The neighbors lament, "What a tragedy. Your son is injured. How will you manage without his help?" And once more, the farmer replies, "Maybe so." The following week, military officials come to the village to conscript young men for the army. They pass over the farmer's son because of his broken leg. The neighbors celebrate, saying, "How fortunate that your son was spared from war." And again, the farmer replies, "Maybe so." Interpreting the farmer's wisdom. At first glance, this story may seem like a series of random events, some fortunate, others unfortunate. Yet the essence lies in the farmer's response, "Maybe so." This simple phrase encapsulates the farmer's profound understanding of life's unpredictability and the interconnectedness of events. The farmer neither rejoices excessively in good fortune, nor laments excessively in adversity. He accepts each twist and turn of fate with equanimity, understanding that what appears to be a setback may, in time, reveal itself as a blessing, and vice versa. Lessons from the farmer's philosophy. Acceptance of impermanence. The farmer's attitude reflects a deep acceptance of the impermanent nature of life. Seasons change, fortunes fluctuate, and nothing remains static. By embracing impermanence, the farmer cultivates resilience and adaptability in the face of life's uncertainties. Equanimity in success and failure. Whether faced with success or failure, the farmer maintains a balanced perspective. He does not allow external events to disturb his inner peace or sense of well-being. This equanimity shields him from the emotional highs and lows that often accompany life's ups and downs. Understanding interconnectedness, the farmer recognizes the interconnectedness of events and the ripple effects of actions. What may seem like isolated incidents, the loss of a horse, the return with more horses, an injury, a military exemption, are all interconnected threads in the fabric of life. By understanding this interconnectedness, the farmer navigates life with a broader perspective, seeing beyond immediate outcomes to the larger tapestry of existence. Humility and reverence for nature. Working closely with the land fosters humility and reverence for nature's power and wisdom. The farmer understands his role as a steward of the earth, cooperating with natural processes rather than seeking to dominate or control them. This humility nurtures a deep connection to the natural world and a sense of responsibility towards future generations. In our fast-paced, technologically driven world, the lessons of the farmer offer invaluable insights. Embracing change like the farmer, we can learn to embrace change rather than resist it. By accepting the impermanence of circumstances, we open ourselves to new opportunities and possibilities. Cultivating equanimity, developing equanimity, allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. Instead of reacting impulsively to every twist of fate, we can respond thoughtfully, drawing strength from within. Recognizing interconnectedness, understanding the interconnectedness of events helps us see beyond immediate outcomes and appreciate the broader context of our actions. This perspective encourages empathy, cooperation, and a deeper sense of community. Honoring nature, whether through sustainable practices, environmental stewardship, or simply reconnecting with the natural world, honoring nature enriches our lives and nurtures a sense of interconnectedness with all living beings. In the bustling tapestry of modern life, amidst the constant hum of ambitions and aspirations, there exists a pervasive yet often unnoticed illusion, the illusion of security. From the moment we take our first breath, we are enveloped in a web of expectations, assurances, and promises designed to shield us from life's uncertainties. We are taught to strive for stability, to build fortresses of financial security, to accumulate possessions that promise a sense of safety. Yet, woven within this seemingly protective cocoon lies a deeper truth, that true security may not be found in the material or the predictable, but in a profound acceptance of life's inherent unpredictability. To understand the illusion of security, we must first trace its roots through the annals of human history and psychology. From ancient civilizations to modern societies, the quest for security has been a driving force behind human behavior. In primitive times, it meant ensuring enough food, shelter, and protection from predators. As societies evolved, so too did the concept of security, expanding to encompass financial stability, social status, and a sense of belonging. In our contemporary world, the illusion of security manifests itself in myriad forms. It whispers through advertisements promising financial freedom through investments and insurance policies. It echoes in the halls of academia, where degrees and credentials are touted as pathways to a stable career and a comfortable life. It permeates our homes through the accumulation of material possessions, each item representing a bulwark against the uncertainties of tomorrow. At its core, the illusion of security is rooted in fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of change. Psychologically, humans are wired to seek out patterns and predictability as a means of reducing anxiety and maintaining a sense of control. This innate drive served our ancestors well in environments where survival depended on anticipating and mitigating risks. However, in today's complex and interconnected world, the illusion of security can lead to a false sense of invulnerability, blinding us to the inherent impermanence of life. To break down the illusion of security is to confront uncomfortable truths and embrace profound insights into the nature of existence. It requires a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs and societal norms that equate security with external measures of success. It demands a shift in perspective from seeking certainty in the transient to finding resilience in the face of uncertainty. Central to unraveling the illusion of security is an acceptance of impermanence, the understanding that all things, whether material possessions, relationships, or even life itself, are subject to change. In the words of the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus, the only constant in life is change. When we resist this fundamental truth, clinging desperately to illusions of permanence, we inevitably suffer. It is only by embracing impermanence that we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the fleeting beauty of each moment and find freedom from the shackles of fear. True security, it can be argued, is not found in external circumstances, but in cultivating a sense of inner peace and resilience. This inner security transcends the fluctuations of the external world, anchoring us in a deep-seated knowing of our inherent worth and interconnectedness with all life. Practices such as mindfulness meditation, self-reflection, and spiritual inquiry can serve as gateways to this inner sanctuary, offering refuge amidst life's storms. In the pursuit of security, we often view risk as something to be avoided or mitigated at all costs. However, what if we were to reframe our relationship with risk as an essential component of growth and transformation? The willingness to step into the unknown, to embrace uncertainty, can lead to unforeseen opportunities for learning and self-discovery. It is through taking calculated risks, guided by intuition and wisdom, that we expand our horizons and cultivate a life rich in meaning and fulfillment. In our individualistic society, the illusion of security often isolates us from one another, fostering a sense of separation and mistrust. Yet true security is found in community and connection in the bonds we share with family, friends, and our broader human family. Building resilient communities based on compassion, mutual support, and empathy not only enhances our collective well-being, but also serves as a bulwark against the uncertainties of life.